Hey there guys, welcome to Unveiling Wild. We've talked about scary parks, scary rides, scary hikes, and now we're up to no good once again as we talk about the top bizarre and truly scary plants you never knew existed. So let's dive right in. But before we get started, please be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're excited for the video ahead. Number 7. Red Algae. Red sky at night, shepherd's delight. Red sky in the morning, shepherd's warning. Shepherds use this traditional proverb to forecast the weather for the following day. The red tide, on the other hand, is always an omen of doom, regardless of when it occurs during the time of day. Red tide is a kind of hazardous algae that rises from the seabed after a particularly strong storm. The sea tide isn't very appealing to the eye, evoking images of the shower scene from Psycho, but what's even more terrifying is the devastation that follows 2 weeks later. Fish and marine life will begin to wash up dead on coasts and beaches, killed by the poisonous algae in their water. Number 10. Bladderwort. You've probably heard of Venus flytraps, but have you ever heard of bladderwort? Bladderwort blooms feed on any food they can capture in their snapdragon-like maws, similar to Venus flytraps. Bladderwort doesn't dwell on land. It only thrives in fresh water, so you should always remember the carnivorous bladderwort the next time you go wild swimming. It's a stunning aquatic carnivorous plant with finely split, submerged leaf-like stalks and countless little bladders, yet it's commonly ignored. The above water blooms are yellow two-lipped and have a forward-facing spur on the bottom lip, similar in form to snapdragons. Number 9. Brain cacti. The brain cactus appears eerily similar to a human organ, the brain, as its name indicates. Because brain cacti aren't truly harmful to people, apart from the spiky spikes, you could maintain them as interior office plants, but you need to first analyze the evolution of the brain cacti. Brain cacti are a variety of cristata cacti that, when harmed at a young age, create these brain-like forms. The brain cactus develops into a twisted and convoluted form as they're enabled to grow over the unpleasant traumas of their childhood. Number 8. Peggy Hydenellum. Mushrooms are already odd-looking plants with a variety of toxic varieties, but when represented as fairy dwellings, they may be rather attractive. The Hydenellum Peggy, on the other hand, will not be regarded as an appropriate fairy habitat. This fungus generates a slimy, jammy material from its pores, as its name indicates. The devil's tooth is a forest mushroom that is seldom, if ever, seen in Britain, with the exception of Scotland, where it's often found in the Caledonian forest, where it is numerous, but still somewhat localized in some years. The lovely examples here were discovered in Abernethy Forest in Scotland. The Fungal Records Database of Britain and Ireland, FRDBI, has all official records for the species from Scotland. This hypnoid fungus may also be found in portions of Northern Europe and North America. Number 7. Quartz Flower. The quartz flower smells like a decaying quartz and has the appearance of something from the film Avatar. I'm guessing the stench keeps it from being eaten. However, despite this defensive system, the plant is still rather uncommon. It's classified as a threatened species by the IUCN. It comes from Sumatra's woods. It's really hundreds upon thousands of little male and female flowers rather than a single large bloom. Oils are emitted from them, while heat is collected in the middle. Because of the heat, the oils produce a scent that attracts the insects that pollinate the bloom. A mature plant can weigh up to 200 pounds in case you were wondering. Number 1. Strangler Fig. The Strangler Fig is the plant kingdom's greatest thief. It not only scrounges, but it also kills. Strangler figs come in a variety of species, but they're all fundamentally the same. Your roommate who takes all of your food, the guy at a party who steals all of your booze, or the kid in class who duplicated your paper and earned a higher mark. They're mainly distributed by hitchhiking on birds and being dumped on a thick forest's canopy of trees. Because they will grow up and down, they're weird. They grow down to the point where their roots may deplete all of the nutrients in the live tree. To absorb sunlight, it rises higher. They often outlast the host tree by many years. Number 5. Reflecia Arnoldii. Reflecia Arnoldii is a plant belonging to the Reflecia genus. It's one of a kind since it's the world's biggest single bloom. It's also odd since it lacks stalks, leaves, or roots, despite the fact that it seems to be a plant. Some believe it has something to do with fungus. It's classified as Equisitopia, which is related to horsetails on the Kew Botanical Gardens website. However, Wikipedia classifies it under Malphigelas, a large category including willows and flaxes. Do you wish to grab one of these to plant in your backyard? We're in the same boat. However, they're incredibly difficult to come by. They spend the most of their existence as inconspicuous strands of parasite tissue on tetrastigma vines in tropical rainforests until the strands create a little inconspicuous bud, which explodes into the horrifying plant you just saw for a few short days. Number 4. Venus flytrap. Because it attracts insects and spiders, Dionoa miscipula is also known as Venus flytrap. The coastal plains of southeastern North Carolina and northern South Carolina are home to this plant. The plant will only thrive in areas with plenty of sunshine. It's a good choice for a home's outside decor. When an insect or spider moving along the leaves comes in contact with the hair, the trap prepares to close, but only if another strike happens within 20 seconds of the first. Triggers may happen as quickly as a tenth of a second after contact. Number 3. Elephant Foot Yam. Who do you think this cutie is linked to? Well, the Quartz Flower to be exact. They're not only connected, but they also have a lot in common. This individual, for example, smells like a corpse. Elephant foot yams come in a variety of colors, and some are completely white. In terms of wackiness, the elephant foot yam may have the upper hand over the quartz flower. This strange-looking plant is really tasty. They're produced as a delicacy in one Southeast Asian culture and as a last resort food source in another. Number 2. Vulgar draconiculus. Draconiculus vulgaris is also known as the stink lily or the dragonwort, and it may be found in Tennessee, Oregon, and California, as well as Puerto Rico. It's a dramatic plant, so don't go too near while the bloom is ready for pollination. The name comes from the Latin term draconiculus, which means tiny dragon, and vulgaris, which means commonplace. Number 1. Pitcher plants. It's been seen with monkeys drinking from it. It's also been discovered with rats partly digested in it. The pitcher plant is a true nightmare. There are over 150 species, most of which are found in the jungles of Sumatra, Borneo, and the Philippines. A tropical pitcher plant's meal includes lizards, termites, spiders, and worms, as well as anything else that can fit inside its pouch of sticky sap, though it seems to prefer smaller insects. Individual species have complicated interactions with their environments. One has developed to host colonies of carpenter plants to clear up the remains of the bigger corpses, which would otherwise lead to rotten conditions on the plant, which we don't want. Some Nepenthes have developed into tree shrew toilet bowls and a shrew-sized perch and pleasant exudate to lure shrews while they do their business. That's all from us today. Do be sure to like and subscribe to our channel and keep watching for more fun videos.